Welcome to our mindfulness moments today. Focusing today on the cycles of life that are all around us and in us. That process of beginning and sustaining and ending that is a constant in our lives. So let's begin by just tuning in, just connecting with ourselves, each one of us, wherever we are. Tuning into where we are, what's around us. What's the environment that we are situated in this moment? Where we are in our bodies in this moment. It's a good time to tune into that breath that's there. And that is really the first example of this cycle of beginning. As we take a breath in, sustaining, as it holds just briefly, and ending as the breath releases and comes back again into that next cycle of breath. And just being for a few moments here with that cycle in yourself at your own pace. And there is no real beginning or ending. This whole process of breath and breathing is always in process of beginning and sustaining and ending and beginning again. We can see all those cycles all around us. And if you're watching here and not just listening, there's an image here of a great coastal live oak tree that lived on the land where I live. And I don't remember or know the beginnings of that tree as a seedling growing roots underground and emerging into the sun to grow over centuries into a huge tree, providing shade and nurturance and shelter for so many beings until the day it came down, its roots pulling up from the ground. And now, still years later, the moss that's growing on that trunk, returning to the earth, new growth sprouting all around. And maybe there's beginnings that you can think of in your own life, a new relationship, even a new job or kind of work, perhaps a new place that you've moved to, different times in your life when something new began, and that freshness, that learning all about this newness, the growing of this part of the cycle. And then the sustaining, the ongoing, the rituals of repeating, of knowing, familiarity, sometimes even taking for granted what will always be there, it seems. This part of our life that is going on and on and on. Maybe we don't even notice the changes that are part of that cycle. Maybe we do see those changes, finding our way through that time of sustaining our relationship with this. And then the time of decline. Maybe we know there's a decline, a shift towards the ending, something that is beginning to feel like it's on its way away. Or maybe it's a sudden ending, and we find our way through that time of letting go, releasing in ways that are so sacred, so precious, of finding our way to let go, to honor what is beautiful and right and will always stay with us. Memories, sensations, what's in our body of the knowing of that relationship with a being or a place or a way of moving in life. Letting go into the spaciousness can feel like emptiness for a while, but there's a space there now, a space that will be filled by, we don't even know what's next, the next beginning. And perhaps that's even already begun, because these cycles are going on in each moment, in each phase of our lives. There are beginnings, and there are all the ways that we sustain ourselves, our relationships, our way of moving through our lives. And then the endings. And all of it is overlapping. We can find those beginnings and middles and endings in any moment, just like the breath. And it may be that your body can begin to notice that opening to a beginning, perhaps allowing movement, perhaps just sensing into the inner movement that's there, of opening to beginnings and growing into being with that time of sustaining, of letting go. releasing into the spaciousness and beginning again. Just breathing with those cycles as they are there for you now in your life. And perhaps letting those gentle memories of all the beginnings, middles, and endings that have made you who you are, that are part of everything that you bring to each new relationship. The person, the being, a place, a way of moving in the world. Can you find a place for all those memories to sustain you in this moment? In the next moment, moving into the unknown of all the cycles of life, and even those larger cycles that our own personal cycles are just a part of. Cycles of the planet, cycles of our solar system, of the universe. All of them right here, right now. And as you begin to come to an ending of this particular cycle, of this mindfulness moment, and your eyes begin to open or refocus, just acknowledging those who are here with you, around you, in a shared space, a meditative space. Maybe you'll choose not to speak for a bit, or if you speak, to speak from your own experience, sustaining your sense of these beginnings, and middles, and endings in you. Thank you for joining me in appreciating the cycles of life.